We are going to start with some synth bass bonus patches. I'm going to make a groove. Let's have some fun here. Good day, everybody. I'll pop my camera on in a minute. Let's say we want to turn everybody off with the ones to start with. Let's do some octave dance. Sounds like a good start. Let's have a little LFO fun. Let's go LFO. Turn on sync so it plays along. Oh, we don't want pitch, we'll cut off. That sounds good. Let's test it out. So let's go down to BPM kicks. And let's say load into instrument only, so just get the instrument layers. Oh, I always select heartbeats because I like heartbeats, but that's not the groove I want. That sounds pretty nice. Let's say upbeat, hard upsell. Hello, Don, Greg, Mark, Daniela, and Kasaka-san, the first to join. Good to see you all. Welcome. That sounds pretty good. Let's get a chord thing going on. So let's go down here, actually just chord. Let's say maybe minor league. And we got to take it up like 2 octaves to get it to where it plays along with the bass. Oh, I just chose the wrong one. I'm still waking up. There's a reason why the camera's not on yet. I'm not awake yet. I gotta make some techno. No. I'm gonna make this kind of cool. I want to have some random samples start to give it different accents, and we're gonna do my favorite trick with the LFO. We're gonna go custom one shot uni. Oh, not cut off pitch. And let's now we need to get that into a pattern. So let's go over here. Let's add a blue arp. I'll keep it on 16th notes. Let's do this. Let's set everything off. And I know I want. And then replace velocity a little bit. Let's have this be a little bit louder. And now maybe I want something else to double that chord pattern. Let's say duplicate this layer. Choose a different sample. That might work. But let's make it not just the sample. Let's put some programming into it. And let's see, instead of this, let's change the speed delay. I'm going to change the filtering to high pass. And I want it to be chorused a little bit on those taps. So. We could go for something kind of weird if we wanted. There we go. Just a little bit of weird. And then I'm going to take the bass down an octave and the chord parts down an octave, because these are bonus BPM grooves I'm making. Let's see, let's find a different sound. Oh, this is cool, because this is the round robin of samples that are minor. And maybe we want to have some sort of a cool, well, here, let me say hi, since there's enough of you guys on. I should turn on the camera and hello, welcome. My name's John Limcool. This is a live stream. I host live streams every Saturday. Got a little filtering on my lens. Get the dust off, you guys. But welcome. So this is kind of a casual live stream in the sense that I love the most. Let's see. Let's save this really quick. This is a Z BPM groove. Let's call it something interesting. It still has one part I want to add that I haven't added yet. Needs a snare. Hey, Shane's here. Welcome, Shane. Hello, Shane. Shane shows up on an interim basis now. He doesn't have to be here all the time like I do. It's good to see you, my friend. And I think Taylor might be here. I'm not sure. If not, he'll be along at some point. Let's see here. I want to let's just call this. Sometimes I look at map to get ideas for maps.google.com, and my eyes are running today. Let's see here. Oh, I like that name, Arlita. Save us. We'll call it Arlita. Why not? So I have another BPM groove I've made called Cybertrucks, which is this one. So these I will be probably next week. I will accumulate through the week, and I will give you guys a bonus set for, this is for ReCycle. I just want to make some more grooves as we go along, so we might make one more later. There's a chance we're going to do some sound design today too. I'm working on a new library, and I'll tell you about it and show you what I have so far. And then I think we're going to try to make something live in the live stream. So fingers crossed, this could be interesting. I haven't done one specific. I've done, playing around how to sample this and stuff, but this is going to be a little bit different, and I think it could be really fun. So anyway, welcome. My name is John Limcool. I have a website you should know about. This is pluginguru.com. Let's see. I don't want to see my toolbars. No. Well, I just got Firefox working. Never show. I guess I can make it go away that way. There. Anyway, this is my humble website, pluginguru.com. If you need inspiring patches, please come here. In fact, I have a weekend sale, not a Black Friday sale. Black Friday's over. This is just, we had a lot of you guys join our family by buying UNIFY this week. And so thank you to all of you that are new members of the Guru Nation, as we like to call ourselves. I like to call you guys. All of the libraries are 40% off, except for the 2 newest libraries. They're on their introductory pricing, but I have over 90 libraries for Omnisphere, Break Tweaker, Razor, Absinthe, Massive, Contact, UNIFY. Of course, we have many libraries for UNIFY, and they're all at 40% off this weekend. So go to pluginguru.com if you need some inspiring patches. I kind of did this sale and made it a nice big sale just because, A, I'm thankful to all of you guys that are new to the family, but to give you an opportunity to save some money. A lot of you guys just bought UNIFY when you did your sale purchases and stuff. So here's a chance to go back. If you want a couple suggestions for libraries that are really fun for starters, one of my personal favorite libraries is one that was done in the first year. Let's see, where is Cloud City? Cloud City is a really cool library. The other library that has gotten a lot of attention from a lot of people, I'll give you quick tours, okay, real quick. Cloud City is a library that I did in 2020. It's like 3 years ago. I sampled 2 different steel tongue drums, which are these really cool little tiny, there's a picture of it right there. And I recorded both muted and open. This is the second steel tongue drum. Here it is muted. So you have those in here. I used them in some really cool ways for some of the BPM bells. I actually recycled live performances. And because of the way that MIDI box works, it can play back the MIDI file and then use this note to chorus to actually transpose the chorus tuning as I play keys. See how it goes? So you can play in. So we can go down to another bell. Let's say UNIFY layer. And they're not in tune, so we can go here. And then on top of that, this library has an absolute boatload of world percussion. So if you come down here to the BPM perk, there's all these singles of claves. Let's do this. Let's just say instrument 1 only. Let's load up some triangles. Let's add a shaker. Let's add the cajon, sure, and the buffalo drum. So now, just by clicking a couple of patch buttons, and then you can do fun things like take the triangle. Let's not make it bright. Let's make it dark, with like because it's playing rhythmic. So there's the cajon. Buffalo drum is just this huge, huge drum. let's do this. Let's take the triangle and let's make that kind of a little bit louder and pan it to the left. Let's pan the shakers to the right. Turn them down a little bit. So it's a really fun library. It's so easy to get all sorts of fun things going. Go over here, instrument 1. Let's add a dark dirty sub. Now that's going to play interesting with the buffalo drums. Now one thing I don't know if you know about Noisebox is that it is really cool. And if you want, I have a custom distortion curve here. But I'm gonna instead of this, I'm gonna set it just to exponential and just and then I'm gonna use the high pass filtering as a high pass filter. Let's do this. Let's break this up since it's just a... I love this sound. It's so cool. But let's put a pump house on it. Let's reverse this so it's a saw down. Maybe I want a more complex pattern. So the presets, there's all sorts of presets saved. If you have the rad waves, the cutting edge rad waves library, there's some really more complex patterns. Take this up an octave. Let's add more air. Let's open up the UNIFY layer. Go to Flex EQ. I'm going to emphasize the high frequencies instead of the low frequencies. I'm going to take the low frequencies out a little bit. Let's do this. This is working good. I'm going to take it all up one octave as far as the jam parts go. Drums don't have to worry, and the bass, so we can play. Uh-oh. Let's turn off notes, of course, on the triangle. The shaker also is changing. Yeah, here's shaker. Turn off this so it doesn't. That way it stays just as a shaker. Same for all the drums. Actually, I think these are all doing transposing. So let's have them stop doing that so that they stay. I want that pitch for the cajon for the. And let's right click on everybody. We're gonna make a split, put something on the right hand of this cool groove. So this will be a little bonus patch. So those of you guys that have Cloud City are getting a bonus patch right now. Let's turn this down a little bit. And then for the right hand, let's see, we gotta go to the transport. Let's say only track the bottom half of the keyboard. And we'll do quick stops. And then for the right hand, let's see here. There's all sorts of things here. The BPM pad things are so fun. Let's do poly MIDI simple. Right click, say load into a new UNIFY layer. Here's the key range. I'm gonna right click on C-2 and set that here. I'm gonna hold down Option and take it down an octave so that I loaded it as a new UNIFY layer, so that if I wanted to, I could open this up and go to some of the more complex patches. BP pad. That might be cool. Let's do this. Let's make it a little rhythmic. Yeah. That works. One thing I want to look at the, where's my buffalo drum? It's not quite the right pitch, so we go. See, if you turn on this Guru sampler tracking pitch on the drum groove parts, then as I play it up and down the keyboard, also, because I've gotten the key range set, I can go into actual Guru sampler. Let's shorten its energy a little bit. I'm going to use this as a compressor to soften the attack just by using the amp envelope. So now, and I'm going to turn on jitterbox on this, and I'm going to give it like 20 milliseconds to play with. So it's just a little more human. What should we call this? It's so cool. I love the groove. Maybe we'll add a real drum groove to this. There's all sorts of drum grooves in here. Let's add Tantra Dance. And once again, this is a library where I was experimenting a lot with this note to course and MIDI box. It doesn't always work because it's I've learned that as we layer sounds, you kind of want it to stay in one pitch. So I don't use the note to course for groove percussion stuff as much. Now that kick needs to stick out a little bit more. So we might, let's do this. Let's take the bass. Let's sum the two so we can hear them. Let's do this. Let's add. Pump House is so good at just softening it, the down impacts, right? Let's go here to the sidechain presets and say 3. So now that kick drum is really allowed to really hit hard on the downbeats. Let's check our overall levels. A little hot, so I'm gonna hold down Option. And I need to set the key range for this new drum element so it stays where everybody else is. So we have the pad up above so we can like... And my bell's just a little bit out of tune up here. So let's sharpen... That's fun. So anyway, what should we call this? Now that I've made something, I have to come up with a name for it, right? So shimmy. I like that. Cyber shimmy. Okay, cyber shimmy. That works. So let's see. Z BPM split. And this is a Z. So let's put a Z at the beginning of the name. Cyber shimmy. Cyber shimmy live stream. We'll do it that way. And let's see. Made during the December 2nd. Oh my goodness, it's the 2nd of December already. 2023 live stream. That's cool. And it's a BPM split for the category. And we'll save it into the Cloud City library. And then I'll get this to you guys right now so you can play with it. This is why we like our live streams, because we can make bonus patches and give them to you guys for the libraries. It's very, very fun. Guru freebies, Unified Libraries. I don't know if I have a Cloud City. I don't think so. So let's say new Cloud City Volume 1 bonus. Open. And let's say reveal in the Finder. I'll make it into a .guru file for you guys. So we say new libraries. So we have a folder named libraries, a dog named Sam. And you bring the patch. Actually, you know what we got to do is, so inside of here, I need to have a folder. You need it to have the exact same name as the library you want this to go into. So this is Cloud City Volume 1. And then inside of here, I need to have a patches folder. Patches. And then inside of the patches folder, I can put this Z BPM patch. Gosh, this is a big library. Okay, Cyber Shimmy. So we put this into the patches folder. This way, this is telling UNIFY that when it gets this .guru file, it will unzip it. Then it'll take the contents and it's going to put it into the libraries, into the patches of the Cloud City folder. So then all you have to do is rebuild the library file database and it will show up. So all we have to do is say compress. And let's call this, this is live stream Cloud City Volume 1 bonus shimmy, SHIMMY. And then at the end, we say guru in small caps. We say, yeah, use guru. And that way I can put this over here into the freebies. And at this point, all you'll have to do is drag over UNIFY interface of UNIFY. You have to have Cloud City. If you don't own Cloud City, don't download this because it won't do anything for you except give you error messages. But say copy Dropbox link, and here I'll put it right there into the group discussion, and I'll put it into the video description. Bonus Cloud City Volume 1 BPM split patch. There you go. So now you too can just have this fun groove to play with. So yay. So this is one of the first libraries I would get just because you have all these percussion, all these cool bells and pads. There's so much to this library. It's 498 patches. There's vocal chops that are, if we go over here and say just a single instrument, you've got them both as leads and chords. So you have vocal chops as well as all these percussion, these cool textures. One of our customers I worked with, he sent me patches and did some incredible things. Celestial Dreamer. There's Windscapes. A friend of mine is one of my favorite photographers on the planet. His name's Mark Adamus. He gave me permission to use artwork from his photography in this library, so it's got some really cool images for these sounds. There's cool plucks, but there's all these maps of claves, shakers, rain sticks of all sorts. Both played as rain sticks, but also played as cool alternative snare hits, which is really cool, you know. Put those behind a cool snare, you can get all sorts of really cool things. I had a conga, actually I bought this, I still have it. A compact conga, it's a conga without any body. It's for people that travel and play and they don't want to have a huge pair of congas because they don't have room for them. And so I multi-sampled all of these instruments. So you have all these samples of ankles, shells, bin deer. And if you turn on a MIDI box, I have all these different patterns for every one of these. So if you go to the buffalo drum, turn this on, slow it down, open this up, the buffalo drum, there's all sorts of MIDI patterns here. So you can take these and in no time at all, go load instrument layer 1 only, let's say rosewood clave, turn on MIDI box, the pattern, and then you have other ones. So you can play with these just to have all sorts of like tambourine, turn on tambourine. You can get all sorts of cool things. And again, right now it's set to transpose by pitch. So wherever you play on the keyboard. And then what's fun with this is, say you don't want the buffalo drum to change pitch. So go over to the Guru sampler and turn off the note to course for just the buffalo drum. And maybe not the clave, but now the tambourine. Oh wait, I did it backwards. Sorry. Clave was here, and this is here, let's see. So no changing pitch for the clave, no changing pitch for the buffalo drum, but we change pitch for the tambourine. And then if you want, get into doing a little bit more with the samples. Maybe you like this pitch and you just want to stay there, so then you turn this off. So you can determine where the pitches of something is at and then turn off that note to transpose and it will stay there, which is really, really fun. Let's add the compact conga. Where's the compact conga? Here we go. Compact conga. I have it set to instrument 1 only, so I just click this, turn this on, and now you have the compact. And there's all these patterns inside here. So you can make grooves in like no time at all with this library. And it's all these really cool percussion sounds, drums. The BPM splits go on for days. There's so many cool things. So this is a great library just to kind of get like a whole bunch of Airwave. Laurent Verona's made some patches for this library. There's some tricky ones in here as far as like some fun things going on. I love Cloud Hop. This is like using the whole library in one patch. really, really fun stuff. Box Hop is cool. There's so much here. These real percussion kits with the BPM percussion. I mapped all the percussion into one drum kit. So you can call these up and it's one MIDI file playing all of the real percussion kits together. Anyway, great library. It's one of my favorites. I worked my butt off for so long on that one back in the day. It came out so cool. So that's a great one. The other one I want to point out that's gotten a lot of traction, it's the bestseller of the year by far, and that's Bob Detta's Ambient Dreams. This is a library that just Bob really, really pushed into some new directions with the capabilities of UNIFY, with cool samples. It just goes to such incredible places, and it complements what we were doing. Like if I wanted to, let's do this. Check this out. So let's copy this layer and right click on revert, and we can go back to, where were we at? In the Ben Deer was where I made the big groove. And so I think one of these should have, does it have the whole groove that I started? No, I thought maybe I'd kept my reverted what I'd done, but you could, anyway, never mind. But the flow stuff is just incredible. Really cool samples, the motion mallets. This library, it's got a really wonderful vibe to it. And this weekend with 40% off, you can save some really decent chunk of change. There's some really beautiful pianos and things to go with piano, and it's a unique sounding piano. There's guitars, there's these scenes that you call up that you just play a note and it's just incredible library. Good stuff. So, all right, good to see you, Shane. Thanks for joining, man. So, these libraries are here. There's two libraries on introductory price I want to cover really quick. The first one is Vocalesque, which is right. There's so many libraries now. It's like, this is a beautiful library. This is Kathy Talbot, a singing friend of mine that I've been known for a very long time. And there's some samples in here that are from a previous library for Omnisphere we created called Creaturesque. But we added to this, we added some additional multi-sample vocal choir-esque things that she created. And then there's these phrases that are just so creatively fun to play with, where she's in the light, she's whispering, Holy Ghost, check, and then a little bit stronger, because we were working on this before Halloween, so there's a chance this was going to come out for Halloween, and I just couldn't put it together. So we decided to go ethereal. So then we went into these sound intense, but when you put them into BPM pads, and I made a couple different examples here, it can do some really cool. It's really, really fun stuff. Life Cycles is using the wave sequence. Along with her phrases, but I turned them into short decay, so the drum sounds And then I made this into a split. So if you go down here to BPM splits, you'll see life cycles where it's so you can play it, jam along with Kathy. There's BPM chants up here that you can push, push, coast, push, push, coast, push. Let's go to the other library we released at the same time as this for Black Friday. They were on crazy Black Friday deals. They're still on killer deals right now. They're $49 libraries. Let's go instrument one only, and let's add a drum groove from ReCycle, which is samples from my lovely little Cycles. Such a cool synth. It's an FM synth based rhythm box. So now and let's find a different groove. Let's say like you guys want, I want to make one more bonus patch. We'll make a bonus patch between Vocalesque and I gotta slow down a second because I'm getting all excited with ReCycle. So ReCycle, let's do this. Tekken is a really cool techno groove, so let's add that. And we could do stereo if we want to, because and then the other thing that I wanted to show is how to get more bass patterns. It's really, really fun to make bass patterns. So let's go over here to like layers, laser tag. I'm going to load this as a UNIFY layer by right clicking on the patch. This way, if I don't like the sound, I can change it. That'd be cool. So let's go over here to the inside that UNIFY layer. We're going to add a blue ARP. And because there's that motion in the sample, let's really play with that. Let's bring up the random. So now it's going to play different places in the sample. And let's go over here and add a pitchy G. Let's do this. Let's go shape custom. Speed it up so we get to go fast enough that becomes just a short part of the beginning of the sample, and then it plays the normal sample. And let's add another groove on top of this. So let's add Fart Man. That sounds fun. And let's turn on blue ARP again. Maybe not quite so much fart. So let's go over here to the groove layer. So we're making something kind of rude. I like the vibe. Maybe the vocals. Let's play with these a little bit. Let's see what happens when we bring up the pump house on these. Let's go to pump house. Let's do this. I'm going to change the shape of this to be more like half of it and then out for the other half. And then if I hold down Control and Shift and click this pump house, I can then hold down Shift and click this pump house, and that's a copy paste move so that now this. Let's like maybe here and get rid of the low end. Let's emphasize the light and less of the dark. Let's put some distortion on this. Give a little edge. And maybe the bass line, we want to have a melody for the bass instead of just sitting here. So if we go to the bass, that's this layer. Blue Arp, if you look down here, you have octaves and scales. We're going to commit this to minor. We're in minor at this point, let's say, because we're going to go minor. Made a pattern. Let's have it not be quite so farty. So we're going to use decay. To make it snappy, but and just bring up a little bit of sustain of the amp. But this way it's not in the face like this. I'm using the amp as like a compressor. Let's go to noise box. There's noise box on here. There's some really cool tricks you can do with noise box. This is another one of my favorite tricks. Less distortion. Let's just say. And then high pass filter it. See how it's bringing up all that high frequency crispy stuff? Then bring the mix down so that this is only like maybe 5%. Hear all that high end? Here's without it. So you can use this as a way of using for EQ. You'll also notice that the resonance, you can find all sorts of sweet spots of frequency emphasis without just a little bit of resonance. So adding a little bit of this, it's a really cool type of a EQ color with distortion. Now when you put that in the mix, maybe for this I want a different groove. I want something with a snare drum in it. So let's see. Let's go over here. No, that's not the right button. It's this one. Not that one. I'm going to use noise box again to emphasize high frequencies a little bit. Less distortion. Here I guess the snare and stuff to stick out. Without it, with it. So it can just add distortion just to like anything above 8K. So it's just adding a little ear candy. And then let's add a vocal pad on top of this, because that'd be the perfect thing to add to this, right? So let's go over here and key range those and go back to Vocalesque, which is right here, and go BPM pads. Maybe like one of these, there's some really fun ones here, like the Octave dancing. Let's load into a new UNIFY layer in case we change our mind, and key range it to C, and so let's try just some other ones around here. I like that. Let's take it down an octave and let's go to the sampler part and shorten the release. So it just sticks out a little bit. And let's go to Pump House. And let's call up one of the sidechain presets. Just to get a dance. I'm going to put one more pump house on top of it to give it a little bit more sonic motion. Let's choose just the simple saw down, a little bit of curvature, 16th notes, and about 50%. There's a little bit too much fart on the bass. So let's go over here, because I like the vibe of this. I might speed up a little bit that, but the fart bass, it just needs to be let's have it just stick out a little bit. Maybe have a little ear candy on it by giving it like a little bit of filter LFO. Let's say triangle on cutoff. That way it's not static. It's moving a little bit. Let's see how that sounds with the other bass. I like that better. Getting there. There's still some work to do to get the drums and the bass separated. Let's do that by using a little global pump house on all the bass parts and just do our standard side chain. And then find the depth where it fits in nice. Now, right now the phrases are kind of repeating the same thing, so we hear ghost all the time. Maybe we don't want it to do that. I'll show you a cool way to change that. There's a MIDI box up here, which is playing it, right? I'm going to go after MIDI box, and I'm going to add a poly box. Is it poly box I want? Yeah. No, actually I could do it. There's so many ways to do it. Let's do a jitterbox. So we go UNIFY standard, creative jitterbox. Because jitterbox has the ability to have pitch jitter. We could turn off timing jitter altogether and say just do pitch jitter. And what that means is it gets notes in and it randomly spits notes out. And you can give it a key range of what it can play and what it can listen to. But now it's going to be changing all the time, so it's just different phrases. And I could even limit the key range of how far I can look, just to give it like if I gave it between a small handful of notes, like let's say from A1 now I can only play with those 3 notes between A1 and C2. So you can limit the range. I designed this when we did Cloud City because I have a map of shakers, of like 10 samples of shakers. And I wanted a MIDI file to play and randomize between the 10 samples of a shaker. And so we put this in, and it's been useful for all sorts of things, but it's something I haven't shown you guys before. You can also have it output just a single note. If I give it a certain settings, it would output just one note. Let's say like from A1 to A4. So now it's playing different samples all the time. So now it's not quite so like, it's not so important. Anything that becomes repetitive, doing the same thing, your ears are going to pick up and think that's part of the pattern. And if it's random, it just becomes part of the groove, and it's not as important. Right? That's cool. Now, I like that snare, and I wanted to have some reverb. And there's a couple ways to pull this out. Let's do it. This is kind of the blunt force way, but it's really fun. So duplicate the layer and then bring it up here, right? So let's solo the first one and play it. And this is the version to get rid of the snare. So we're going to say include till we hear just the snare, and then reverse to exclude. So I've given it this small key range right in the middle is where the snare is. And so I'm saying don't play those notes. And that way I can do this. I can hold down, thank you, Control and Shift, and on this MIDI box, copy it, and then hold down Shift, paste, go to the second MIDI box and change it instead of include or exclude, but to say include. So now this layer is just a kick in the hats. Turn up this a little bit. And then this is the snare. So then I could now add reverb to the snare. Cool. Fun. All right, so let's call this Z BPM split. Where should we save it? Probably to, since when I start combining libraries, I usually save them to the user. So it's Z BPM split. What should we call this? Oh, cool. Machine Talk. Nice one. I like that. How about Machina? Machina Talk. Save as a BPM split. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope this is helpful to you guys. It's kind of what today's theme is. I have a free synth. Cherry Audio is giving you guys all a Christmas present. I'm going to show you that in a second. Made during December, I still can't believe it's the 2nd already. 02 live stream. requires vocals, yes, volume 1 for UNIFY and ReCycle volume 1 for UNIFY just to work, to play. So if you don't own those 2 libraries, this isn't for you. It's just, hopefully you're learning from the programming steps I'm taking. Even if you don't own the libraries, you can apply what I'm doing to learn, right? So let's go over and get that to you guys as a, and I'm gonna, believe it or not, I have something going on that I can't show you everything that's going on. So I'm gonna go over here and say reveal in the Finder. You can't see what's in my user library right now. Ooh, secret. Skippy has a secret. So let's go over here. And I'm going to bring this out. And all we have to do is go in here and call this the user library, which is just right here. So just say user library. Hello. And then open that, open up, well, here, we'll put this, oh wait, it's not starters. That's not the right run. Let's go over here. User library patches, machine talk. So we put that into here and we take out Cyber Shimmy. And yeah, we'll just leave it like that. I should put LS at the end of the name, but it works the way it is. So let's go over here and say compress this. And this is going to be called live stream vocal and ReCycle bonus talk. And guru, use guru. So let me go back over to my El Drapo Boxo. And I will get this to you. Let's see, plugin guru freebies. This is in here for the combo. So into here, copy the link. Paste. Yeah, it's a simplified synth. What I'm going to show you, the free synth, it's nice that they provided it. And I also show you that there is another synth that I was in charge of the voicing for, based on the same synth that Cherry Audio released. So that is kind of interesting. So that was the link. Let me put it into our video description here. The bonus ReCycle Volume 1 and Vocalesque Volume 1 split patch created is here. It's also in the video description now. And see here, the free groove presets for ReCycle. Let's see. Let's go like that and save. Okay. Yay. So let me get these out of the way. It's in our video description, so you guys have access to it. Let me move everybody over here so that they're out of the way. Okay, so back to UNIFY. There is a new synthesizer in the plugin world given to us by Cherry Audio. They have mini synths, CHERRY. As you can see, I have quite a few of them loaded, and there's more than this, but Synthesizer Expander is their take on the SEM module. It's 2 oscillators. You can choose your modulation source. It's nice. It's monophonic. It has built-in echo you can turn on. Phaser. Does have a unison mode. But they don't let you play it polyphonically, which is interesting. Because the other synthesizer, well, there's presets here so you can go through. It's not something to sneeze at. And it's free. I mean, it's really hard to argue with somebody giving you a really nice sounding synthesizer plugin for free. But if you want to, cherryaudio.com is, I believe, where we go. Let me get to the exact page. So here's Cherry Audio's page. And if you scroll down, you'll see that there is the synthesizer expander module you can check out. And so cherryaudio.com. And then here is the URL. I'll put this into the video description if you guys want to see it from there. I'll also put it into our chat. Cherry Audio's new free synth. I think it's free for a limited time. They have it priced actually at $29. So they will be selling this in the future for $29, but it's available right now for free. Highly recommended just because it's a nice mono synth. Unless you're in the school of I've got enough already, thank you. And that's totally cool too. Just want to point out really quickly, if you go to new instrument layer, there is a synth, Oberhausen, from our friends at Brainworks. And I was hired to do the voicing for this. And so I employed Airwave to work with me, and then they had some other people make patches, but and it's more capable than the Cherry Audio one in that you have a voices slider, so you can set up to 32 voices of polyphony. If you expand here, it has a arpeggiator, it has an effects section which has some decent effects to add. And we had a good time. Made some really cool patches for this. And because they added so this is also based on the SEM design, but taken out farther. So if you have access to the Plugin Alliance subscription, if you haven't tried this, it's a cool synth. It came out really cool. I guess I'm in a category. Current folder. Came with some really cool stuff. So you'll get more into colors that the simpler Cherry Audio offering can't get into because you don't have reverb and some of the other effects. You do have echo. Right? And they made some nice patches. This just came out yesterday, so I think we'll probably unify this as a unified library. We just haven't done it yet. Something I'll probably do this week. So, right. Good stuff, really good stuff. So, free synthesizer from Cherry Audio as a Christmas present. Elaborate emulation, right? Yes, there's also that one, so I can show you that as well. Let's say new layer, and SEM from GFORCE is a, I'm registered. I'm authorized with it. It doesn't see it. So hold on a second here. GFORCE SEM. Let's find out. I'll get my license really quick. Over here off screen so you guys can't see what I'm doing, but give me just a couple seconds and we'll be up and running. Their site is a little slow today. They must be having a big sale. Let's see, go over here to my account. Log in, please. And go to my instruments. Please view my instruments. And then go down here to SEM. Hello. Boy, their site is just chilling along. And then here's my registration code. So let's try this one more time. Open this up. And come over here and paste my registration code and register. There. All right. So now I have SEM working. Oh, they all sound good together. That's pretty fun. Then I might have to, like, let me do this. Let me call him SEM one more time. And I'm soloed and it's not playing. Why are you not playing? Let's do this. Let's just say Guru Sampler to make it a simple call. And now go SEM. Huh. I don't have it playing for some reason. I'm not sure what I've done. But here's what it looks like, just so you can see. It has the rear panel and the front panel, so you have access to everything in it. Let's just quit UNIFY really quick, just to see if this fixes it, because I think because I don't know. I'm not even going to try to guess about what I did. Let's just see if we can get it to work. SEM. Huh. I might need to update, because I updated my operating system and I haven't updated this since updating to Sonoma. Tell you what, since you're here, we'll just do this all together because I don't know what's going on. Let's see here. So let's see, show in the Finder. Let's quit UNIFY really quick and run the updater because I know it will work. So double click to install. Hope you guys had a good week. It's been a really nice week here. Getting ready. I'm going to be going to Los Angeles for the NAMM show in January. So those of you coming to the... Oh, let's see. Let's get this off screen, please. Had a wonderful meeting with someone that I think I'm going to be working with in the future. That is really exciting for this whole project, my life. So it's really exciting. Really, really great. It's been a great week for a number of reasons. All right, let's try this one more time. Go UNIFY, SEM, and there you go. Yeah, I had a very old version of it. Sounds great. So there's a bunch of them. The Cherry Audio one that's free is obviously basic. This gets into all sorts of other areas. LFOs and programming and effects and reverb, right? So there's lots of offerings. I think even Arturia, I don't know if I have the Arturia one, but they have the OBX type thing. So that flavor is definitely strong. Yes. Let's see. What are you guys talking about? If I had the money, Falcon 3 is looking in. Yeah, Falcon 3 is interesting. Yeah, then you put 8 layers of SEM. Yes, you can do that type of thing. Let me show you that really quick, because the thing is, the Cherry Audio one is only a single note epiphany. And if you want to play chords in UNIFY, you can do that. And I've shown you guys numerous times this process, but let's do it one time. The key is first, of course, is find a patch you want to have play. It's a little detuned. It's using a pitch EG for the detuning. Where's our pitch mod? Right here. That'd be nice to play big chords with, right? So it's a little loud, so let's turn this down. Let's do all of our preset, so we're ready for playing 8 voices of this. So go over here to MIDI effects and you say empty layer, and this pops open our global MIDI effect, which can now talk to lots of layers at once, which is a really cool feature that UNIFY can do so easily. It's hard to do this inside of a DAW. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on the little plus, and we're going to add polybox. And I want it to be 8 voices epiphany. So we say 8, and everything else I can keep the same because it's taking something mono. I don't need to do the things where I'm trying to like make it doing some of the stuff I do for wave sequencing and things. There's other settings here. If you set chord auto reset, then it does wave sequencing-esque things that will restart when it stops and starts again. It will start at step 1, which is important for wave sequencing. But we don't need that. We just want to play polyphony. So since I've set this to polybox in 8 voices, all I have to do is tell the layer below it, listen to MIDI box, or polybox, I'm sorry, listen to polybox, and set this to MIDI channel 1 for the first voice. And then the last step is right here. We have this automatic duplicating of layers, and it says next MIDI channel. This is designed for this ability because it makes, boom, 7 additional layers of the synthesizer expander. So it's now playing 8 plugins. Each one is on its own MIDI channel with the exact same patch as number 1 patch. So now they all listen to your mod wheel pitch. And what's fun at this point, if you want to get more into like the things you can do with that make the Oberheim synth so cool, was each oscillator could be panned. Well, each layer in UNIFY can be panned. So now we have a little bit of width, or you could just go crazy and put each one to be max toggle left and right, or anything in between, whatever you want. Now it's super wide. On top of this, the other thing, that's really fun is that each layer can be a different plugin, or it can be a different variation of this patch. So if you want, you can open up, let's open up every other one, and let's change the filter just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, this one, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's have a little bit of resonance on this one. And then this one here, we'll have it also be different and a little bit less resonance. So now you're hearing just subtle changes. Let's have this one here have a big change where it goes up an octave. And it's brighter. And if you want it to not be cyclical, like right now it's 4, 5, 6. You could go over here to Polybox and say random. And now each time it plays, it will just randomly choose one of the 8 as the note that it's going to assign that playing to. So every now and then it pops up that broken, where, yeah, we got a tuning problem with this one module in our SEM. But it's really easy to get to where you're playing anything polyphonically that's made monophonically by a manufacturer. We can blow that out of the water. And then the other side of this is when you go, okay, I want to try a different sound that's not quite right. You hold down Option or Alt and you click the init button. And what this will do, I'll tell you before I do it, it's going to delete anything except layer 1, MIDI effects, auxiliary effects, and master effects, but all the instrument layers other than 1 go away. The reason for that is you can hold down Option or Alt, click init, boom. I only have layer 1, turn off Polybox so it's not distributing, and now I can play and change my patch. So I can go over here and find a different patch. Maybe if I made this up in pitch, let's modify this. Uh-oh. What happened? Logic is picking up on something. Don't use. No. That might be cool as a polyphonic sound. Well, let's try it. So all we have to do is turn back on Polybox and go over here and say duplicate 7, and it duplicates this one patch that's now been modified back to being an 8-voice polyphonic synth. And maybe I want a delay on this. So hold down init, click this, turn off the Polybox, try their delay, turn it on. And maybe I want to put a reverb on this. So I could go over here and I could say add an auxiliary reverb from UNIFY, right? Like, let's just choose something like, oh, just nice, since it's kind of percussive and 3 seconds, that's nice. Set your auxiliary send where you want it. That's going to sound nice. Now you can turn back on Polybox, go up here and say duplicate 7 layers. And now this auxiliary send amount will be set up for all the additional layers that are made as well. So we've turned on the delay and we've added reverb. It's a wonderful way to work. It's really fun. And once you do this a little while, you get really used to holding down Option or Alt and clicking init, bypass Polybox, find a patch that you want to try. That's nice. Let's have it settle more. Maybe a little bit less detune. I hear noise too. Where's the noise at? Where's noise? I hear that noise. Do you hear noise? There it is. In the filter section, of course. Turn that down a little bit. And here's your choice. Let's make it sawtooths. A little bit sweeter sounding for pads. Let's get to be a little bit less detuned. Then turn back on Polybox and choose 7. And now you're back to playing a monophonic synth as an 8-voice polyphonic synth. Nice. So, it's a cool synth, it's free. And in UNIFY, you can turn it into, even if you want to make it 16 voice, all you have to do, say you want to make 16 voice instead of 8 voice, hold down Option or Alt, click Init. So you're back at the start. Go to Polybox, instead of 8 voices, say 16 voices. And then go over here, and we just happen to have a preset that will make 15 instead of 7 of the presets. So by doing that, giving it a second to think, usually some synths are much faster at doing this duplication process, but this one is not, which is okay. But hey, Jim, welcome to the party. How about velocity to volume across the group? Sure. Now we got 16 voices. Is there velocity control is what you have to see. I didn't see. They don't really have a reverse. I don't. Okay, well, Logic, what are you doing? It's what my. No, don't use my phone. I don't see velocity control here. So if you don't have velocity control in the synth, then you can't do that. So I don't think you can do that here. This is just a synth. Back in the day, we didn't have velocity, so you just play it. You know, some of the other SEM synthesizers do. You know, it just depends on what synth you're using. This one doesn't have it, so you just. You're playing an 8-voice sim. This is a 16 voice sim. So that is a synth that is free. So I put the links. Download it if you'd like to check it out. I think it's a nice gesture from Cherry Audio to everybody to provide something like this. Very, very cool. All right. I'm almost out of time. Let me show you what I'm working on. I got carried away. I was going to show you more of what I've been working on. Anyway, the next library that's going to be coming out for Christmas is a library I'm working on called Magic Motion. It's in the Cutting Edge series. And it's been really fun. We'll make something together really quick. It might not be the final of what I'm making, but I'll show you some of the concepts. And I'll show you some of the sounds that I've made so far, because these are really fun. I think Rain is maybe the coolest to show first. The idea being I'm performing as MIDI with instruments, not samples, but instruments, and then processing those with things that have motion in it. The idea being that I want things that have motion in the samples. So when I play one note, this is using Sculpture, which is a really cool plugin. We'll probably use that for what we do really quickly. And it's not tempo based, it's in the samples, so it's going to be more an arrhythmic element that if you want, you can add something like, we could say saw down. We could say eighth notes. And you can create rhythm. But it's really designed more just to be something that's just going to be these things that are just playing these really cool motion elements. Wind is a faster version. And I had these also totally dry, so you can Dream Transport is really cool. Here is the stereo version of Dreams Transport. Rather epic. Isn't that nice? And if you play the dry, which is the synth part that I played really fast in sequencing. Right? And then I made a new thing yesterday called the Air God, which is kind of a cool thing. This is a 4-layer I created inside of Logic, and then I'll show you kind of the process. So one note. And then the small mix version is just the dark pad and a little bit of the wind. So just a little bit of wisp and stuff you could filter out if you want. So I'm in the sound development creation stage of creating the samples that I'll then program with. And so I love this stage. So I'm going to mute UNIFY. And let's call up Logic really quick. And I'll show you some of the techniques, things that I do to make new sounds. There's so many different ways to make new sounds. So there's not one at all. Let's play Sculpture, because that's such a great synth. Because it's got such a unique characteristic to it, I like to call up a patch to start with. Let's go to the pluck kind of instruments. Then what I do, let's do this really, I have a really fun idea for one that I wanted to try. So I haven't done this. I'm going to record. Okay, so we just have something silly. I'm not going to quantize it or anything. I'm going to put some sort of nice, huge effect on this. Let's do maybe a little black hole. Maybe not quite so much of a mix. Let's let something else be in this as well. There's so many places to go here. I'm going to call up, let's see. Universal Audio has some really cool effects. Let's use the Galaxy Tape Echo. So when we play this, let's see, let's cycle this for a second. I just wanted to add an interesting texture to this. We're going to be putting this into a granular synth in a second. So just for fun, let's bounce that out. So I'm going to say bounce. And we'll call it mallet test. Okay, so we now have that to play with. I didn't spell it right, so I can go up here and fix that. Mallet. And let's call up a place that's really fun for this Novum. It's really fun for taking sounds. I might actually use one of my presets. Let's see, I got to go back to Logic and say thank you. Don't need to play this anymore. So that is gone. Novum should be, I think something, oh, here we go. So let's see what happens if we put mallet test. And then what I would do is bounce this out. I don't have time to do all the steps right now, but these are the kind of things I'm going to be doing for this library. And if you go to the enveloping, you can change the sample start and end to be where you want it to be. Another place to show you really quick, just as another option that I might take this for these types of sounds, that's fun. Inside of Logic, let's take this audio track. Let's bring in the mallet test. Bring it over here and say, what, right there. There's all sorts of audio effect plugins. One of my favorites for this kind of stuff is from Arturia called Fragments, because it can take this and I'll find something that's in the kind of the direction of what I'm interested in, and then tweak parameters and so forth. Another really cool effect that I liked, there's so many that are able to do things like this, but inside of the Plugin Alliance, Unfiltered Audio, they did a really cool reverb called Tails, which does some really, really fun things. And it's a darker blue than this blue from Fragments. Now let's try. Let's go over here to some of the creative stuff. A friend of mine made some patches for it when it came out. There's so many places to take samples to other places. And if you want, you can use both Fragments and this together. Right? And then put, let's do this. Let's make this into something and try it in UNIFY, just for fun. Let's do a little shimmer. And we want to be big stereo. And we want pitch mode to be dual. That's interesting. But just to see what we get. So let's, we could either bounce this in place. Let's just bounce it out. Let's say bounce mallet test 2, because we've added to it. Now, I'm going to quickly put this into Endless Wave to loop as another step in the process that I go through. We've added to it. So I was talking there, so let's not play that and include that. That's really funny. And then let's have some crossfade. And use like, I think the special crossfade will work. Yeah. Okay. Do I have the tools here to normalize? Yeah, I do. So let's normalize the audio really quick. So let's save and quit. And that has changed this file by saving it, I think. Yeah. So here's how it looks inside of a sample audio visual editing program. The loop point was saved into it. So now the other tool that we work with, right, is Bjorn's sample mapper. So we can, let's do this. Let's get this a little bit closer to being like, say we were going to put it in the library for real, right? So here's our UNIFY folder. So go libraries. The library that I'm working on is right here, Magic Motion, samples. This will put into the samples folder. Let's mallet. I'm going to just call it mallet flutter effects. And that was C. So let's say C4. And so we put that into the samples folder. And now that it's there, I will now make the SFZ file. This way, if I end up liking it, wanting to use it, use end of name for the import option, because it's just going to be one sample across the keyboard. Save SFZ as, and let's call it pad mallet flutter effects. Okay, so I have made an SFZ calling up that sample to play it across the keyboard. So when I go back to UNIFY, and instead of playing, here's the Air God small mix. Let's open this up, and in the list of samples, we're now going to find mallet flutter effects. There it is. Let's give it a slow attack. Kind of cool, because from here you could filter it, have it do all sorts of fun things with filtering. You know, could be a cool component. So Magic Motion is what we're working on for Christmas. And that's one way to make source using no samples from anybody, because I started with structure. I added my own effects. I bounce it out. Some of these sounds, as you can see, when we get to like these air gods and so forth, I'm bouncing out lots of pitches. If you want to know, I'll give you a couple other tips for sampling. These three notes, C, E, G sharp, they give you a third between each sample. So if you want to do a simple map of only 3 samples in an octave, if you want to get really into like every other note, here, let's see, let's call up the mallet short. This is, I think I sampled this only C, let's see here, C, D sharp, G, C, D sharp, G. So this is just doing, if you do that, you get a really nice even spread for samples. And if you want to get even more carried away in every other note, do the first 3 black notes or 3 white notes and then 3 black notes in a scale. And now it's every other note for the entire octave. So I'll give you these free tips. That's the magic sample map. Unless you want to do every note, and then it becomes it being gigabytes. And for most things, the augmented C scale is a perfectly acceptable sample map. So there you go. Little tutorial on sound design. And let's take this and let's duplicate the layer. Let's add flutter effects. Yeah. And again, there's all sorts of fun things with enough high frequency content that it has. I can nice. So I think we'll keep that. And remember, this is saved, so you can come back and watch this again. Go through the steps one at a time. I'm here every week just because I know how complex UNIFY is, and I want to always just keep giving you guys new things to try, new things to think about, and it also helps push me to experiment too. So it's fun to hang with you guys and have a community where we can make sounds. And I'll offer this. If any of you guys want to, in the next week, you don't have a lot of time to do this, but if you want, if you are a sound design maestro in your own universe and would like to contribute to this library, I will open this up to my community to, if you make samples, if it's of a high enough quality, I will pay you for your samples, for your time. It's not a huge amount of money, but I'll pay you something for your time, give you some credit to the libraries as well. Just to, I want this, I love being community based. I like getting other people involved, and I have this platform I can use to do fun things. So now if it's really, really like a whole bunch of work needed and it's not good samples, or if it's a questionable source I can't use, no, but if it's, you got to use synthesis based or physical modeling based, something that's not sample based, and it has to be original from you. And if you make something that is interesting and want to send it to me, you can send it to unifysupport@pluginguru.com, and maybe we'll put it into the library. And if not, maybe this just inspires you to try some of these things for your own projects. Anytime you're working on a record project or film project, it's fun to take some time and make a little library of your own sounds, and then use those sounds in the album and keep to those sounds. And that's one way to get a really like strong characteristic for your project, is to not just use anything and everything, but you set up a pool of sounds for a certain thing that you want to do. I know a lot of people that work that way. It's a great way to work. Anyway, there it is. Thank you for joining us. That's really cool. I like that. Cool. All right. Yes. What kind of samples do you want? Just, it's called magic motion. So think in the terms of magic motion. Make something that, what does magic motion mean to you? But I want things that have this kind of motion characteristic. There's different things like I said, synthesis with effect processing. It's fun to have send both dry and wet versions. If you want the simpler things, work for really, really cool things like this. Send the dry versions as well if you want. You know, it's just magic motion is the name of the library. So see this beautiful, cool swirl. I mean, think in that kind of direction if you want. Saucepan meets wooden spoon. So let's do our shout outs. Shout out from Portland, Artland. Yes. Motion, evolution. Although a lot of evolution stuff you can put into the programming after the fact. This is the meat that you use, or the clay you use to make something. And so you don't necessarily want it to be too much evolution, but some is cool. It's just, if you're playing it and it's got some cool motion that's interesting, explore that direction. I want to give you guys an opportunity to play around with this if you want, you know? Look at the shout outs. I love it. Shout out from Portland. Todd's in Tennessee. Kasaka-san. Arigatou gozaimashita. Domo arigatou gozaimashita. Domo. Tucson. Hey, Peaches. We've got Chattanooga, Tennessee. Finland, London. And is Dubes here? I didn't see if Dubes was here. Ives. Good to see you all. Brahma in Holland, of course, my friend. Thank you. Also, next year, I'm going to be at Super Booth in Germany in May. So I'm getting my tickets for all that stuff now. So I'll be in Germany to come see you guys at Super Booth. And NAMM show in January. Yeah, France, Holland. I love, that's right. Lemon's got the globe. Somewhere in the world. That's cool. Awesome. Wales. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you for joining us for this live stream. It's always a joy to hang with you guys. And it's just amazing. I can sit here and just make sounds and stuff. And there's a whole bunch of you watching. It's fun. Cool. I'll see you guys in a week. All right. And again, 40% off weekend going on. So if you need some inspiring patches, head over to plugandguru.com. One last plug. I can do a plug. Let's go over here and say Plug and Guru. One more week of Vocalesque and ReCycle on their introductory prices. And there's 40% off if you hit the products button right here. It'll go to the page that grows forever. And there's lots of libraries that are all discounted right now for you guys that just got UNIFY or want some more inspiring patches. They're there for you to play with. All right. So thank you all. Have a great week. And we'll see you next week. We'll have a lot more Magic Motion happening in a week. So I'll be happy to show you where we're at. And UNIFY support at plugandguru.com. I'll put a little thing on the Facebook UNIFY Power Users Group page about, this live stream and about samples. If you guys want to contribute samples, I'll put a thing there so that you guys know what's going on and can go there as a reference. Okay? Cool. Thank you all. We'll see you next week.